Good day, my name is Abu Sunday from CAD and GIS Center. Today I'm going to make this particular recommendation to the state governor on how we can be able to manage and track the government facility within the state or even outside the state to be sure that there will be no debt or unnecessary loss to the government properties. Because as an Africans, we actually have that mentality, so we can see how we can be able to regulate that. So in my recommendation here, if you can see, the government should develop a comprehensive database to catalog all its facilities and properties within the state. This database will be secured and editable only with the governor's approval, helping to minimize the loss and theft of the government assets. Now, this particular database can be controlled from at a different level of administration or a different level of in terms of who is actually in charge of a particular properties. But the general editing or the general manager or the general administrator will actually be the executive governor of the state. Now, what I mean here is that in every agency or in every offices or ministries, we have a lot of facilities. We have vehicles. We have assets, tables, that's furnitures, electronics, and many other things. Okay, computers and many things in different agencies, right? But we have this issue of maybe when there's a change in government and stuff, there are a lot of things that actually happen in the process, right? And then possibly a lot of things based on the fact that, okay, I'm the director of this particular agency, I can actually take some stuff on, you know. And at the end, if the state actually revolve around buying the money that's supposed to be used for to actually develop other sectors or other areas, it will actually use to buy those things that somebody have taken home or sell, okay. So we request for that to actually come up with this. What we'll try to do here is to make sure that the government actually develop a database. And this time around, it's not just a database with just an Excel sheet. It's going to be a database of geo-located database. What I mean is that it's going to be a geo-database, whereby it's going to be a location-based database. What I mean is that if in this particular office we have so number of tables, let's say in this ministry now, we have office, let's say administrative office, right? In the administrative office, we have 2 tables, and then we have 4 chairs, right? Now, in that ministry, okay, we are going to actually come up with a plan, okay, of every offices, okay? We are going to sketch it, or we're going to digitize it. So it's going to be digitized based on the offices, right? And then, as it's digitized, it's going to be a geolocated digitalization, not drawing, not just drawing, right? You're going to be a geolocated digitalization, digitizing based on the exact position. So if you load it into the environment, it will fall, especially when you are seeing it from the satellite, it will fall exact position of that particular office, right? And then we are going to attribute or add all those informations or what we have in that particular office, how many electric bulb, how many televisions, how many computer we have in that office, how many tables, how many chairs, how many cupboard we have in that office. Everything is going to be attributed, like going to be added to that particular polygon that is representing that office. Now, at that point, you understand, nobody will actually say, this list here is actually not for this office, or it's actually for a particular office, because it's geolocated. Nobody can actually deny, nobody can actually shift that, right? And based on the fact that it cannot be edited except from the approval, or with the approval of the governor, or with the approval of whosoever the governor actually give that administrative right to actually do that. There's nobody that can actually that can be able to carry something or take anything away from the office. Now, these particular techniques will actually be applied to the whole office. Let's say the whole ministries. We have the whole comprehensive data of the whole ministries, taking it to every other ministry. So at that point now, it's going to be a management of ministries by ministries. Then when it comes to the breakdown of, okay, which offices, the director of that ministry or the commissioner of that ministry will actually handle that, which has to report to the governor. And even within the ministry, it cannot be edited. You understand? You cannot just edit. The governor will only telling you, or from the government house, they are only telling you, okay, we have so number of so thing from your office. That's what we have when the stuff was handed over to you. And at the cost of this, you actually acquire so thing in those offices, and it is being updated in our database of a facility in our state, in the state, right? So you have to actually provide or show everything that is there, or make all the things. Possibly you have to update and possibly show videos of all the things that in the offices to actually clear. So in the same thing has to do with the number of vehicles we have in that particular offices. Everything will have to be attributed or assigned to that particular polygon that is representing that office, right? And then at that point, it is only from the government house that it can be edited, or only from the approval from the government or from the governor that it can be approved, it can be edited, right? So, and we have the level of administrative rights, right? Which, if it has to be done right, you have to be careful of who have the administration or have an administrative right to actually edit, because that is what we are trying to fight. That is what we are trying to avoid. That's what we are trying to see. Because if the money that they use to actually rebuy those things that have already, that maybe that particular ministry have before, and somebody misuse it or somebody take it away, if that money is being channeled to another different thing, there will be a high level of development within the state, right? The same thing applies to all the facilities we have in the local government. It can be the administrator of the local government, might be the chairman, or you understand, or if the governor wants to take charge of every other things, the chairman has to also report based on what they have in their local government, right? So we have a central database that every organization has to report in terms of facilities. For example, we have a central database in terms of pay direct, whereby, okay, every agency, all the revenue generated in the state is going into a particular directory. We can have the same thing. That's exactly what we are proposing or recommending here, that, okay, we can have the same thing that has to do with the central database and the central database, for that matter, for all the facilities, all the assets that the government have, so that we can be able to see how we can reduce or regulate the issue of taking government properties at will. You understand? So I think that is my recommendations on this. It will actually help in terms of development, because, as I said, the money that's supposed to use to rebuy what the government have bought before will actually use to channel to different area, which will actually in total bring development to the state in general. So thank you very much. These are my recommendations. The governor can actually look into this and see if it is something worth doing, and if it is something based on the way I've explained this, okay, if it's something that you feel that you can involve or go into, we can actually go into that, okay.